Hi, everybody. Nobody. Um, so I was looking over my videos. Occasionally I look at them. I don't like to, but I do. So I noticed that I make a face when I'm talking about Bible thumpers, holy rollers, God stuff. Okay. I want to say I'm not like atheist or anything like that. Um, I actually identify as Muslim, uh, not devout by any means. I just I have a problem with people who use the written works to uh, to push their agenda. Um, because a lot of times when they're doing that, a lot of the people who do that, they're not really pushing something that's actually in the Bible. It's like people who stand behind the Constitution and have never read it. You're just going on what you want to believe it says, or you're just going on what your pastor said it says, which I have had a lot of discussions with various um, religious leaders. And when I say religious leaders, I talk about, pastors, preachers, priests, rabbis, imams, various worshipers, because I'm friendly at times when people are friendly to me. I mean, I am an introvert, so I don't typically approach people just out of the blue, like, hi, I'm Ann, nice to meet you. No, I'm normally that person who's sitting in the corner, and then people are like, hi, I'm such and such, and you are, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm Ann. Um, and so the people I like the best are the people can who realize that there's a right path, okay, that leads to heaven if you believe in heaven, or leads to a good life, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call that right path, that path that we are all supposed to be on. Um, and it doesn't matter if you're Jewish or one of the many different sects of Christianity or Catholic or Muslim or Buddhist or Hindi. It doesn't matter because the path is the same. The path has nothing to do with the book. The path has to do with being a decent human being, with doing the right thing, with I'm not going to harm anybody. I'm going to help out who I can. Um, Doing the right thing is not rocket science. Most people have this little voice that says, I shouldn't do this, and I've always said that if you're about to do something, think about whether you would tell people you did it. Because if you're not willing to tell people that you did it, you probably shouldn't do it. I mean, it's a pretty good bar to set for yourself. That if you're doing the right thing, you're not ashamed to tell people you did it. Now, you may not want to tell people because it might be one of those things where, like you anonymously donate and you're doing it just because you want to feel good about yourself, not so you can tell people, oh, I donate all the time. I'm such a not philanderer. Is that okay? I've lost the word. But there's some people that want you to think that they're just so great, so they'll tell you about everything that they've done for everybody. I don't like that either. I'm not saying that they're not on the right path. They might very well be on the right path, doing all these good deeds. But I also always wonder, okay, you're boasting about all these good deeds that you've done. You're telling me about everything that you've done. What are you not telling me that you've done? Like, are you robbing one group of people blind and then giving like 1% of that to the poor, you know, it's like, what, I'm always a little bit distrustful of people, because the thing is a lot of people, they're not going to tell you, I'm a user. I'm somebody who uses people. I get everything I can get and then I'm gone. Nobody's going to tell you that. And I've noticed with dealing with people, like, I have an aunt that's a really, really good lady. Really, really religious. Like, she's at every function that her church does. She helps pay for anything that the church needs. She's always doing stuff like that has to do with the church. But when you talk to her, when you're just having a conversation with her, she does not mention God. She does not mention Jesus. She doesn't say any of that stuff. Unless you're talking about the Bible. If you're talking about the Bible, then yes, she has stuff to say. If you're talking about, what should I do about this, she might quote you a scripture, but she's not in your face about it, because she's more than just a Christian. And in all honesty, I believe it was Eleanor Roosevelt who said something to the effect of, I don't care about your religion or your position in life. I care about the deeds. I care about who you are as a person. Like, are you the type of person who, if you see a dog has been run over by a car, do you feel bad about it? Do you hurt a little bit? Like, see, I don't even really like dogs, but it hurts me when I see a dog that's dead, or if I see one that's mistreated or is suffering. I don't like to see things suffer. But there's people that go out of their way to hit a dog. Let me tell you, that person is not on the right path. Swerving to hit a living thing, you're not on the right path. I guarantee you. Because if you say, hey, I nailed 3 dogs today, people are going to look at you like you're the fucking Antichrist, because it's wrong. But I mean, it's a good rule of thumb that if you're not going to tell people you did something, then you shouldn't have done it. I mean, it's just, with the exception of like things that you do in your bedroom. What you do in your tub, in your bedroom, it's all on you. You don't have to tell people all the kinky little stuff you do. You don't have to tell them you're into BDSM or anything like that. No, you're all right. You're all right. That has nothing to do with being on the path, as long as everybody that's involved is consenting and adult. I just don't like it when people throw religion out there to make a point. You don't have to use religion to make a point. One of the things I love about, I don't think it's in all of Islam. I think it is mainly with one group of Islamic people, and it's the unwritten Quran. And you could go just as far as to say the unwritten Bible. You don't have to read that to believe in God. You don't have to subscribe to a particular religion to believe in God and to be on the right path. You can be an atheist and be on the right path. You can be agnostic. There's nothing that says you can't be a good person. You could be a sociopath or a psychopath and still be on the right path. Because being a sociopath does not mean you don't know the difference between right and wrong. You just don't care. Some people just don't care. But it doesn't matter what you prescribe to. But when I say like the unwritten Quran, the unwritten Bible, it's that you go outside. A lot of times you have to look out into the world. You see things of beauty, the wind blowing through your hair, beautiful clouds, the sunset, the sunrise, flowers, babies smiling, kittens, puppies, just all these things that fill you with just joy. these things that you see that just inspire you. They just make you feel good. Those are, in my opinion, proof of God to me. Now, to an atheist, those just might be things of beauty, things that bring them peace, like sitting out in the sun and just letting the sun warm your face. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't try to convert anybody to my way of thinking, because let me tell you, grew up in a Christian household. So, and we're talking like Southern Baptist. So like, we're talking really staunch, boring people that really, really had a problem with not living a certain way. And there are a lot of religions where they expect you to live a certain way, and it's very stifling, in my opinion. But it's not my place. I mean, if you go to whatever you choose, there's lots of places in this world where you can go and feel peace. Some people find that at church. Some people find that in a mosque or a temple. Some people find it on the beach. Some people find it on a bench in a park looking at trees and birds. Some people, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that you can find peace. I was not able to find peace in any of the churches that I visited. Now, that's not against the church. I don't hate on them, because that wasn't the right environment for me. There's a lot to be said about environment. And the thing is not everybody, me, I could spend the rest of my life sitting on the beach and I would be perfectly happy. I would be happy on the beach. I would be so at peace, so chill all the time. But not everybody feels that way. Not everybody says, oh, the beach is where I want to be. Some people want to be up in a tree. Some people want to be climbing a mountain. Some people want to be skiing. That's when they're at peace. Some people are like, okay, I'm going to get in my boat and go into the middle of the lake and fish. That is their peaceful place. And to me, that's a church. That is a place where if you're looking to have a conversation with God, if you feel like that's possible, that's where you go. And if you walk into a church and you don't feel that, it's not really the church's fault. And it's not your fault either. That's just not the place for you. And trust me, I went a lot of different churches. I tried every single sect and non-denominational and Catholic, and I never went to a Jewish temple, though. I did not do that because I didn't know any Jewish people to, I didn't want to just walk in, because I didn't want to offend anybody if I did something wrong. What I thought was really interesting when I went into the mosque the first time, the lady who took me to the mosque, she told me I did not have to cover my head. If I didn't want to cover my head, I didn't have to cover my head. But I ended up doing it anyway because everybody else had their head covered, So I was like, well, hey, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I did that. Now, she was very big on, you do have to clean your feet and your hands. You have to do that. So I did that. But I felt at peace there. And ultimately, that's what you want in life, because it's really hard to stay on the right path if you're not at peace. Because if you're not at peace, you're looking at trying to chemically give yourself peace. And chemical stuff like alcohol and drugs, that just leads you down a bad path. And I've never prescribed to the whole God will fix me, I prayed. Trust me, I prayed a lot. And no, it didn't work, but medication did. And the way I see it, God made man. Man's smart enough to figure out medication. So it's just kind of like a pass it down type thing. So no, I don't have a problem with God. I don't have a problem with Jesus. or Muhammad. I don't have a problem with any of that. I just don't think that people should use religion to force beliefs on other people or to force their way of thinking onto people. You know, it's like, hey, reason. You know, most people can be reasoned with if you give them the right thing. Now, if you're talking to a Christian and they need a reason to do something, then yeah, show them Bible verses, show them all that. But when you're talking to the masses, you know, the masses who are of varying faiths, you can't push your book at them because it's disrespectful to them. Um, and that's why I've got a problem with that is, you know, and if you look on Facebook, most of the people who post about God, if you really know those people, most of the time you're going to go, you don't know God. You're so far from God. You're closer to Satan. I mean, we all know those people that are always putting the God scriptures and stuff on their Facebook page, and we know that they're out lying, cheating, stealing, you know, just causing trouble. But they want everybody to think they're good. And I don't like, you know, religion does not make you good. Believing in God does not make you good. Doing the right thing makes you good. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with God, and I don't have a problem with Christians or Jewish people or agnostics, atheists. I get it. You know, we each have our own personal path to get to what feels right to us, what gives us peace. And it's not my place to judge what conclusion you've come to based on your life experiences, what you've seen, what you've felt, what you believe. It is not my place to tell you not to believe it. So, have a nice night.